You ever been counted out? Ever had to fight for a future they said you'll never have? Then you're in the right place. This is Break Free, where resilience meets redemption, where real stories tear down fake ceilings and freedom takes root. Your pain has a purpose. Your scars have a sound. And your breakthrough is louder than your breakdown. You can't expect change when you're stuck. Stuck in the same patterns, same mindset, same habits, same circles. It's time to break free. Hey guys, favorites, welcome back to another dope episode with your girl Free on Break Phree Podcast. Today, I have some family in here. It's not a friend, anything like that. This is my brother from another mother. Y'all help me say hello to Mr. Everett Tripodis.
Free them all, man.
Better known as KC. What's up, boy?
Hey, man, all is well, man.
All is well?
All is well.
You look good as usual.
Well, I totally appreciate that, man.
You know it. You didn't even need me to tell you.
I'm a little more humble these days.
Oh, you are?
Indeed.
And what brought that humbleness about?
I was forced to eat a little humble pie. Praise God. Hey, man, that machine to do it.
Yeah.
But just growing up, man.
Okay.
I'm older than I thought I'd ever live to be. So, I'm
You didn't think you'd make it this age, guy?
Nah, so when I was younger, I would look at myself in the mirror and I just couldn't see myself being 40 or because I couldn't see myself looking old. You know what I'm saying?
But you still look good though.
That's probably why I couldn't see myself looking old. I could see it. I kept seeing myself.
Yeah.
I just didn't think I'd still look like that when I got old.
Yeah. You've aged well.
Hey, man, I'm almost 50.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, because I'm 48.
Man, see, and look at you. You're looking good, too.
Thank you. I try.
It's effortless. It's effortless. You don't try to, you don't have to.
I got to congratulate you.
Okay.
I hear you about to be a Morehouse man.
By the grace of God, they have a program there that I'm interested in, and I've had my own business degree, so to speak.
Yeah.
They should honestly just give me one based on my experience.
Is that right?
It should be honorary. I do have a resume, but I have to credentialize because I'm at a time in my life where I'm trying to separate myself. Not trying, I am separating myself from the old version of myself. And, I've thought about changing my name, right?
You did?
I did. I considered changing my name. Paul used to be Saul. It's transformational. But, I just have to embrace all of who I am and all that I've experienced, because without those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't have the story, the narrative, the abilities, the wisdom that I have today. So I can't delete those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I could try to hide them, but that doesn't really authenticize me. I'm an authentic person. I'm real. I'm authentic. And, so yeah, I have to credentialize. Because when you're living on this side of life, those credentials matter.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really think the credentials mattered.
On the other side of life.
The other side.
Yeah. Let's talk about the other
It's
side.
credibility.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not credentials.
Not credentials. There's a
right.
difference between credibility and credentials.
Mm-hmm. There's something in here.
Oh, man, they love me.
So, Kay, let's talk about the other side.
Okay.
You have you ever been embarrassed about doing federal time? Have you ever been in a room where you didn't feel like you wanted it to be known?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Have you overcame that, or do you still feel like that?
I still feel that way because people are so judgmental, right? And ultimately, it shouldn't matter because we're all sinners, judging sinners for sinning differently.
Right.
Right?
Right.
However, there are social norms, there are societal norms, there are people that look at individuals who've gone through certain experiences a different way. Everyone isn't as understanding and as apologetic I've experienced problems at work because of my,
Because you work at a law firm, right?
I do. So I'll tell you very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
We were engaged in some heavy civil litigation with a powerful Atlanta law firm. And they were doing a little opposition research to kind of figure out who works in the office. And because there was something that I did that was monumental, and it turned the
case
tide of the case, right? And it made them liable for like 4 times the amount that they otherwise would have had to pay. It's a slam dunk case. So the only real question was liability. How much do they have to pay? So there's like a $1 million errors and omissions policy, right? So we're going after the full $1 million. Before, though, we were kind of capped at $250,000 based on Georgia law. So I looked at it, and my goal was to figure out a way to maximize the profits.
Right.
And so I found it, and then we filed it. We amended the complaint, and they fought tooth and nail to stop the complaint from being accepted by the court. The court even had a hearing on it, but the court allowed the amendment. And once the court allowed the amendment, I added different charges and different counts and claims that made them more liable. And so they were furious. In their response, they did some background research on myself, and they pulled up my federal docket sheet and some pleadings that I had filed pro se, and they filed a motion for sanctions against
The
firm and attached my docket sheet and all those other related materials as an exhibit for the court. And so the client, of course, is monitoring the docket closely and sees it and is curious as to what this is about and reads it. And then now the client knows about it, right? So now we have to have a meeting for me to explain things. And before that point, they only knew me from what they knew me from and what they knew me for accomplishing. But once they had a taste, a little morsel of that information, then, the energy shifted. They changed. And that created a lot of chaos in the attorney-client relationship. Ultimately, they found a reason to hire someone else to represent them in the case.
They did in the middle of the case?
In the middle, at the end, we were basically in settlement negotiations. That was the purpose of us mediating. And during mediation is when, like, the other attorney asked our client's son how he would feel about someone with a record representing his parents. So that was kind of like where we knew that we were about to have an issue. So that was embarrassing.
But from that, don't you feel like it's better to just say something up front and then you don't give somebody a reason to say something about it? Because, see, I'm not in the law world, right? So I'm in the podcast, in the mentoring world, the speaking world, right? So I tell my story before anybody get a chance to tell it. And I don't care what room I'm in.
Well, the difference in the podcast world and in the courtroom is that the courtroom is automatically divided into 2 sides.
Yeah.
Right? You have the good guys and the bad guys.
So to speak, because if you ask me, it's both bad guys.
Well, yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, we all fall short of the glory of God. Right?
Okay, see, please.
We all fall short. So I could tell you that, no one is without blemish.
Right.
Right? No one's perfect. We're all sinning. We're all sinners. But there's a pretend way that you're supposed to be. You have the alleged good guys, the alleged bad guys. When, as you know from your own experience, that the good guys aren't always the good guys.
Right.
Right? And the judges aren't always neutral.
Right.
And so you get treated a certain way.
You do.
Because there's cliquism. And people have relationships. And, people who've been through the system aren't considered, quote unquote, equal to them. And you have to understand, like, there are a lot of older Caucasians
Mm-hmm.
that are in that are running some of these high level law firms who aren't as racially sensitive or felon sensitive as a lot of the more youthful, younger, energetic, vibrant, liberal groups that are kind of coming in. Now, those things are
Yeah.
fading out
Yeah.
ultimately, but as it stands, you know,
What did the client end up walking away with?
so here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up settling, and our contract required them to pay 33%.
Uh-huh.
And so we've just been silent. The new attorney is trying to get their portion and offered $10,000 for what we've put into maybe 120, 140, 150,000 dollars worth of work product. So they won't disclose to us what the settlement amount was. They won't tell us the terms. So now, instead of fighting the defendant that we were suing, now we're having to fight the new lawyer.
Yeah.
So, that's the court is holding the settlement proceeds in an account in the clerk's office until we all decide and figure out, litigate, settle on some legal fees. But ultimately, I feel that's another reason why I just have to further credentialize. Because in order to embrace my past,
Mm-hmm.
I have to show. Mm-hmm. I don't have to show anything. They will see
Mm-hmm.
the narrative.
So have you ever thought about filing for a pardon? You're smart enough to do it. So why not do it? Why not file for if you feel like this is going to be an ongoing thing, or if you feel like you're going to always run into this type of situation? Why not file for a pardon?
Yeah, so I thought about it. It's on the things to do list.
This is the administration to do it under.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
My
We might not agree with this administration, but what we do know is this the administration to do it under.
Yeah. I I don't 100% agree with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't 100% disagree with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so, while a lot of people may have whatever feelings however they might feel about Donald Trump, I don't believe in 100% of everything he's done. But I can say there are some things that he's done that I'm proud of, that I like to see, that I understand why he's doing it. Some people are just contentious for no reason, right? I've seen things that Biden put his name on that are just horrific.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard him say things that people should have never liked him as being a minority, about his not wanting his children to go to school with kids at a jungle, and saying there isn't a crime bill that comes through Congress that doesn't necessarily have his name on it, and him lying, saying that the first thing he's going to do when he gets in office is to repeal the mandatory minimums and undo all the things that he did. And then once he got in office, he did nothing that he said he was going to do. So,
Like they all.
All I can be accountable for is me and my process. And I see that as part of my transformation, it requires for me to further credentialize.
Because you already have.
I've already, I've been to several.
You went to
schools.
Emory.
I did.
Yeah.
On academic scholarship. And
I remember that was late 90s.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's telling my age.
No, we was around the same age. I was at Clark.
How old are you?
48.
I'm younger than you.
No, you're not.
Look at me. I'm 30.
No, you're not. But anyway.
Honestly, though, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I was, and when I look back, and that's one of the regrets that I have in life, is I didn't understand the value of an Emory education. I didn't understand the value of the relationships of the people that were in class with me. I didn't understand the networking.
No, you were just finessing your way through.
I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy work. I was getting the best grade in class.
Right.
I would wait till the last minute to do the work. I was a shining star. I was leaving class, going hustling. I was riding around campus in limousines.
So, Kay, talk about it. How did you end up in the street? Like, how did you end up? Because you're very smart, very smart. You're a very intelligent man. And even back down to when Fox 5 did the special on you, right? Yeah, you remember that special?
Wow.
Yeah,
You remember that?
Of course I do. So, Kay, like, how did you, talk to us about how you ended up in federal prison, how you started on that road?
Well, so there's always the nature versus nurture
Mm-hmm.
aspect of our existence, right? We have our natural inclinations towards things. We have our natural instincts, our DNA,
Mm-hmm.
where we're made. And then we have the nature, um, or the nurture. The nurture, how we're brought up, our environmental things, socioeconomic status, who our parents are.
Mm-hmm.
So when you combine those things, that's what kind of determines our outcome. I wasn't the first person in my family to go to prison. My father was in for Leavenworth. Um, every one of my brothers has been to prison. I have a brother in prison now who's been in prison since 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I have a brother that's in Savannah who's been in prison for about 4 years. I think he has maybe 8 years left. Both of them in prison for violent crimes. The one in Indiana, who's been in since '05, he took someone's life. The one in Savannah shot someone 9 times on Old National. The guy lived, but he tried to take someone's life. And so I grew up in a household with guns, with violence, with gang membership. And
I would
so,
have never thought that.
yeah, no one knows because I'm not presenting. You don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only of my siblings to ever have graduated from high school. My father was the most intelligent man I ever met, but he was self-taught. He didn't graduate from high school. Again, none of my brothers did. So
So, do you feel like that's a generational curse that needs to be broke?
you know, it may be a multi-generational curse that needs to
Mm-hmm.
be broken, but I like the way that Jatanya has raised my son and my daughter, notwithstanding everything that's taking place, to see that they are different than I was and my brothers were. And so yeah, this is like the kind of like the pivotal shift, a seismic shift for myself because it's not always comfortable going into some of these same courtrooms that I was sitting in as a defendant.
Mm-hmm.
I still get an eerie feeling every time I go into the Fulton County Courthouse or into the federal building when I'm going through um, the U.S. Marshals section,
And you went to prison for?
conspiracy to transport motor vehicles with altered VINs, conspiracy to traffic in stolen motor vehicles, like chop shop related things, the expensive luxury cars, and mail fraud for obtaining car title certificates through the mail. Um, I don't glamorize it whatsoever.
No, it's not to glamorize it, but it's important to tell because in order for people to know what redemption looks like, they have to know the backstory. So that is the reason for telling, like touching on,
Indeed.
what it is to see where you are now and where you are today. Because just the other day I told you, like, okay, you really have changed.
And I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so kind of astonishing to me now is that people that have met me, I don't know, in the past few years, don't understand how far I've come, even when it comes to like dating, right? They don't understand the transformation. They don't understand, how wild I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I saw a friend of mine, Island, at I took my son to music Midtown and
Festival. Yeah.
and I saw my friend Island, and he works for corporate Bacardi, and he was with one of his friends from Germany, and we were just laughing. And he said, "Man, this is the real humble version. Like if you would have seen him like the old version,
Wouldn't have been able to take
shame,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm such not that person that I don't understand how I was even that person. So when you ask that question, it's a little difficult to understand it's difficult for me to even understand. But all I recall is growing up in a household with both of my parents, my brothers there on the weekends, me wanting to be just like my older brothers. I remember my older brothers were stealing cars.
Mm.
Um, I remember my older brother stealing. I remember going to stores and them putting all the candy and ice cream bars on me, having me walk out the store with all the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I remember getting caught stealing from the store,
Yeah.
getting my butt tore up for doing it. So as I got older though, and I left my parents' house when I was 17,
Mm-hmm.
16. When I graduated from high school, I wasn't even living with my parents.
Mm.
I was already out on my own.
Mm.
And I remember my father always telling me that I would never amount to anything, that I was my own worst enemy, that I was going to send all these god awful things. And I had so much resentment towards my dad. I was so angry at him. I didn't like him. I hated him. I wanted to fight him. I wanted to kill him. I just had all these negative feelings towards my dad. And one of the biggest things for me now is looking back. So many times I'm like, he was right.
Mm-hmm.
I was mad at him for nothing. Like if I would have swallowed the jewels that he was giving me, I would have probably circumvented all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I didn't listen. I left the house at 16. I wanted to hang out with my friends. I was still getting great grades in school, but
Yeah.
because all of my older brothers had already been in juvenile, had already been into trouble and were doing things in the street and gang-related shootings.
You felt like that life was better than the life you was living at the time.
That's kind of all I knew
Mm-hmm.
because these are my older brothers.
Right. So in your eyes,
This is
they like your heroes. Yeah.
And I was born in Gary, Indiana, a stone's throw from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So Chicago's known for what? Gangster disciples,
Right.
ice lords,
Yeah.
gang membership.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's affiliated with something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just the norm, right? But what I realized ultimately was that I was smart enough to kind of finesse my way through just about anything. It was like my intelligence, me being articulate,
Your looks.
my looks. My dad didn't play about education, period. He didn't really let me play sports. My grades were bad. There were serious consequences. But he also put guns in my hand. Boy, we would go around into bad sides of town. He would make sure I would be holding the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what he was trying to create. But I think he was trying to create a gentleman. He forced me to make sure I was holding doors open for women. He made me be very respectful of women and being charismatic. He was very charismatic. He was always dressing well. He made me wear suits and stuff in high school. People weren't wearing suits in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was angry at him. Why do you have me at Greenbrier and Giorgio's buying me suits? Everybody else is at merry-go-round.
Yeah.
They're wearing
The hip hop
clothes
clothes.
and
Yeah.
damages. So I'm like, he tripping.
Yeah.
But when I look back at it, I was tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Giorgio's has the gators and
Yeah.
the minks and the suits.
Then when you got out of high school and stuff, that was the look you wanted to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the look you wanted to have.
So looking back at it, I was mad at my dad for nothing. But that rebelliousness
Mm-hmm.
forced me to prove that I would be something, to spite him, right? And I just bumped into cars as a way to accomplish the feat. I mean, it was just by mere happenstance. It wasn't planned. I got my student refund check at Emory one semester. I went in the paper. I found a box Chevy Caprice. I bought me a box Chevy. I was driving it. I was living off Riverdale Road because I wasn't living with my parents. I had my own apartment. So, I didn't have a luxurious apartment. I'm off Riverdale Road. I was in the same apartment complex with Pajay.
Mm-hmm.
Met Pajay.
Mm-hmm.
Taheed was there, 2 Chainz. He lived in the building behind me. Chris Bridges, Ludacris was there. He was in the same building as Taheed. And Trap
Mm-hmm.
that has the One More Question nonprofit.
Yeah, Travis. Mm-hmm.
Trap,
Yeah.
Dr. Barber.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were in the same apartment complex. And so, kind of hood, you know. And so I wanted a box Chevy, which is a hood
Car.
car.
Yeah.
So I had the box Chevy and I was driving it and the motor locked up. I was mad. Like, man, I need a motor. I need a motor. The guy was like, hey, man, I can go get you another one to look just like this. You just take the numbers off this one, put the numbers on that one, and the license plate on that one, and just drive. Just give me this one. I said, wait, you'll go get me another one. Explain it again. He told me the process. He said, but you got to come with me to get it. Okay, no pressure. Let's go. So we went, found one. He peeled the steering wheel, had me jump in and drive. I drove it back to the apartment, and I watched him take the dashboard off both, pop the rivets, put the VIN number on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he screwed the dashboard back in, and he did a couple of little things that were quite simple.
Yeah.
Took the license plate off. I put all my registration in the other one, and went and got the steering column fixed and got new keys made. Now I'm driving around with man, that shit was easy.
So and from that, but Kay, that wasn't really. So you elevate. You took that.
Man, I started with box Chevys and went up to Bentleys and Ferraris and Lamborghinis because anything I get into, I'm gonna figure out a way to be the best at whatever it is.
And tell well, I know. Tell them how would you get a Bentley, or how would you get a Ferrari, or how would you get a Lamborghini? You can't get in trouble for it.
The statute of limitations has expired.
Yes.
I ain't stole a car so long. I don't know how to steal them anymore. Seriously though, I haven't seen the VIN number in so long. Like it's so.
You were so cold, Kay. You know, I seen you change the VIN number with a blow dryer. That's how cold he was.
For real.
Yeah.
In the garage. Where'd you see that?
In the garage.
That was my move. Wow, that's vicious. Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if y'all know or not. Like, me and Kay were really, really partners at one time. Like, Kay, I didn't know how to get the cars, but Kay knew how to get the cars, and he knew how to had the people in the motor vehicle. So the way that people steal cars now and the way that we got cars it's just like totally different.
It's different.
It was more cleaner. It was more elevated.
So back then, still now,
Mm-hmm.
you can go into a part. So a key is a part.
Mm-hmm.
A key is a part, has a part number, just like the headrest has a part number. So if I want to replace my headrest, I got to go to parts and give them my VIN, and they'll order the headrest that matches my car.
Right.
Color coded, slide it right in once it arrives. But the same thing with keys.
Mm-hmm.
They come pre-programmed to the VIN. So I would go to the parts department and say, hey, man, I will have a terrible day. I lost the key to my Land Cruiser. I said, man, I'm going to have to get this thing towed in. Oh, no, sir, you don't have to tow it in. Just, do you have the VIN? I said, I think I have it on my insurance card. He said, yeah, let me see the insurance card. I give him the insurance card. He types the VIN in. Do you have your ID? I pull out the ID, looks to make sure the ID and the name on the insurance card matches, and I could cut your key right now, $14.
Yeah.
I said, so you just saved my life. And he cuts the key, and I leave, and we go directly to the Land Cruiser and crank him up and pull off and disconnect what needs to be disconnected and change what needs to be changed and sell it.
Yeah.
And that applied to every car, the Mercedes, the
Maseratis,
the Range Rovers, the Bentleys made by Volkswagen. So Porsche made by Volkswagen. Same thing. You just go to the Porsche dealership. Hey, I lost my key. So that was the process. Once that got hot, once they the insurance company's trying to figure out how does a brand new car
walk off a lot
with a high security key, how does the car get stolen?
Mm-hmm.
The owner still has both keys. It's not making sense. So, once the NICB, which is the National Insurance Crime Bureau, started investigating, they started saying, oh, they're ordering extra keys to the parts department. So they send memos to the parts departments to kind of close the loophole.
But that didn't stop you.
No, man, money still had to be made.
Yeah.
So, I'd go into the dealership.
It's the
dressed
part I
up.
like. How would you go into the dealership?
I'd put it on. I'd
Yeah.
put something nice on and go in there, clean cut, and tell them I'm interested in Escalade,
Mm-hmm.
and they bring 4 keys to the Escalade out, you know, test drive right away. One, we'd be looking at the black one. I'd call Pajay or Quest, and they go right by the little office and grab the other 3 that the guy left on the table because he
Yeah.
brought all 4.
Yeah.
I want to see the black one. We're looking at the black one, the gold one, the green one, and the blue one. The keys are still on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
So my guys would come and grab the key, and before him and I even got back to the desk, the cars are gone.
Yeah.
Right. So when
Yeah,
he comes
going to
back,
60 seconds really ain't had nothing on you.
that was pressure.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't go to a dealership just to take one. It would make no sense. Why would I drive to
Tennessee.
Chattanooga,
Yeah.
Nashville?
You know I remember.
All of it, right? Why would I go to Tennessee to come back with one car,
Mhm.
right? So there were times I'd have to fly 5, 6, 7, 8 people in town. Everybody coming back with a car. So it was simple, man. We could walk into a dealership and walk through the dealership. Even now, when I go get my car serviced, I'll go to BMW and walk around sometimes while I'm waiting and just see keys, 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 keys. I would just be laughing.
Yeah.
Man,
Be slow.
the old me,
Yeah.
you'd have lost your floor plan.
Yeah.
I'd shut you down. Like everything would be gone.
Okay, so tell me, do you feel like because it was so easy, right? Because you went to prison more than once.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it wasn't why do you feel like you didn't get it the first time you went? But like me, I went one time and that was enough. Like never want to see.
Well, it's not the quantity of time that you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the quality of time that you
Mm-hmm.
do, right? And so when I first went away, I had no criminal history.
Right.
The federal government the sentencing guidelines
Guidelines.
is based on the dollar value of the vehicles. So I'm already in criminal history category 1.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what the dollar value is, it takes a whole lot to get you to do a substantial amount of time in criminal history category 1. There is no mandatory minimums in auto theft. Conspiracy, auto theft related conspiracies carry up to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Exporting cars carries up to 5 years. Altering VINs carries up to 5 years. So the difference between car crimes and drug crimes, you can get a life sentence for drugs,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't get life for changing the VIN number, which is one of the reasons I would tell you, leave the dope alone.
Yeah. You did.
You know everybody who's selling it, they all like cars.
Yeah.
Serve them. Whatever you're making off that, you can make off this.
I was being greedy.
And that answers your question. So I was also being greedy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're young, you have to remember, I was in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm. So was I, yeah.
Yeah. We were young.
That's what I say, Kay. You think about the money we ran through. Think about the things that we could have did if we really would have used. Like, it's no way, like, we couldn't have had a franchise, like a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A or just anything. It's no way that we couldn't have did. But at the time, we were young. I feel like we was young, rich, and wild.
We were definitely young. When I look at my daughter now being 23, or when I look at other young men that are in their early 20s, I'm flabbergasted at where I was at in life at his age.
Mm-hmm.
I was in 23. I had more than one place. I had already been traveling out of the country. I had foreign cars. I had old schools. I had all the jewelry. I had all the ladies. And now you have people, these young men that are 22 and 23, and they
Dirty with a gun.
Mom, dusty.
Dirty with a gun.
Dirty with a gun. Dirty with a gun.
In a game.
So they're lost.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't do anything. I mean, it's night and day when I look at myself and where I was at. I can't believe I had accomplished what I had accomplished at that age.
What do you think the difference is in the generations? Do you think it was us? Like we gave our kids so much that they don't know how to do,
I think 1000% giving, they're taking too much for granted,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have no choice but to take things for granted because it's granted to them.
Right.
So of course they're taking it for granted because it is granted.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone who bought their 16-year-old daughter a 2025 Honda Civic Sport, black on black, all the whistles, bells and whistles, as a first car. My first car was a Pontiac 6000 with a slipping transmission.
Yeah.
But I had to get out and go get it.
Mm-hmm.
When you spoon feed someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you give them welfare, for example, right?
Well, like,
Give you your food, you're never gonna learn to go and
get it yourself.
You don't have to. No, nothing in existence does that but humans. The birds push their chicks out the nest, right? No other animal is keeping their offspring for 18 years. They make them go get it. We don't make our kids go get anymore. You know, my dad told me, I remember it. Since I could talk, he would say it. You're getting out of my house when you're 18. He would always say it. They would be having a bingo night at the house or playing cards, drinking. Hey, come here. What? Hey, Dad, tell them what you got to do when you're 18. Get out the house. I'll run off and go back play.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it from the time I was 2, 3, 4, 12, 15, 16. All right, you got 2 more years, right? So I knew that I had to prepare
To leave.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are young men that are living with their mama at 25, 28, 30, mm-hmm. 32, 40 years old. I know somebody that's 40-something, didn't leave his mom's house until his mom passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Same with some women. So we have to be accountable as humans, as individuals. One. Number two, these young boys are sugar boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're coddled. The moms a lot of times don't let the dads dad them.
Mm.
They feel like the men are being too aggressive. It's toxic. You're being too hard on him. Not understanding that you have to be hard, right? Because those calluses, they need that callus, right? So if you're gonna cook for them all the time, if you're gonna clean for them, if you're gonna wait on them hand and foot, if you're gonna be the one cutting the grass or calling the landscaper to landscape, or taking the car to the car wash, never been to a car wash. I wash them cars every Saturday.
Yeah.
Daddy, go wash that car. And I look forward to cut the music on, wash the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Landscaping, I was cutting the grass. Shoes, I'm shining the shoes. I'm ironing the clothes. I'm cooking the food. What did all that pressure produce? I told you I hated my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I hated him. I didn't like him. I thought he was so mean and so cruel. But you know what he created? He created a man that's respectful, that's charismatic, that's intelligent, that can shine shoes, cut hair, landscape, detail cars, cook, clean, right? Mm-hmm. Pay bills, work like a Hebrew slave,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can do anything. So you can see it in relationships now. You have women and young women that are in their 20s that want men in their 40s. You got women in their 30s, 20s and 30s dating older men. I heard a guy say it. He's at an age where he can date the mama or the daughter. Sad but true. Because these young boys, they're not looking for a woman, they're looking for a mama.
Mm.
So there's a big difference between what men should look like and what men do look like. We have a responsibility as parents to instill those things into young men.
Yeah. And so while you were away, one of the hardest things you had to deal with was losing your mom.
Yeah, losing my mom was difficult for me because I couldn't go to the funeral. I asked to go. I asked to pay the marshal to transport me there.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't resources. I could have paid for it. I've never been a flight risk.
Were you in a camp at the time, or you in?
I was in,
No.
I was in Lovejoy.
Oh, okay.
With
I wanted to see.
David.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in the custody of the U.S. Marshals. It would have been nothing for them to send me over there. I'm gonna tell you what they did to me though. So while I was working out the nuances of like the funeral, and because my mother had two funerals, she wanted one in Pennsylvania and one in Atlanta. So while I was coordinating the funeral there and then the funeral here, trying to get the notices put together from the wall phone, by the way,
Yeah.
15-minute phone calls at a time, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Um, the marshals told me that they weren't going to take me, but they did extend an opportunity. They said that they could have my mother. I could arrange to have my mother brought down to the federal building in the parking garage.
What?
They said that I could have my mother transported to the federal building, the parking garage, and they could take me to the courthouse and let me see her in the parking lot of the courthouse. So that was probably one of the most disrespectful things that I had ever heard in my life. And then the next day, in the middle of all this, the marshals put me in transit. So they transferred me from Robert A. Dayton and sent me to the USP Atlanta, 24-hour lockdown. So I couldn't get to the phone. I couldn't finish planning the funeral. My mother was en route being flown from Pennsylvania. I wasn't even sure
If she made it to Atlanta.
pick her up from the airport and take her to the funeral home. So,
Mentally, how did you get through?
oh man, I think I received I became my most powerful in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was because of my mom's spirit with me, but only through a very sincere connection with God and my relationship with a higher power was I able to really have the silence to understand just how strong and powerful my God is. Because nothing mattered anymore. I was able to see how insignificant things that we consider to be significant, how insignificant they really are.
Right.
And it forever changed me. I became more fearless. I don't really fear losing people anymore
Mm-hmm.
because I was able to survive and withstand losing the only unconditional love that I was guaranteed to have. The person who brought me here, the first heartbeat I ever felt, right? My mom. I lost Phyllis, and she was a fantastic person, just
Yeah, I
fantastic.
met your mom before. Yeah.
And it really ate at me because I remember when I felt like there was an investigation. She called me one morning. She was leaving to go to work. She called and said, "Hey, I'm leaving out of the house and there's a unmarked car basically sitting kind of at the wood line at the edge of my property." I said, "Huh?" She said, "Yeah, it looks like the effing police."
Mm-hmm.
She said, what's going on? What are you up to? What are you into?" I said, "Nothing." She said, nothing my ASS. She started going off with her little Greek accent. um, and then she just was saying, what would happen if I get sick? I'm getting older. I'm getting sick. Dad's getting sick. Help. What if something happens to me and you're in jail and you can't come to my funeral? Do you know how embarrassed I'm going to be? Um, and that just kept replaying and replaying and replaying in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it was vicious. And then I remember being shipped away from USP Atlanta,
Mm.
and I ended up at Ashland, Kentucky. Ashland was a low, and I was at Ashland, and I mean, before I could even take my bus clothes off, I had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a phone ASAP. Now I'm getting like the updates on the funeral. I didn't even know if the funeral had even taken place because I was in transit without access to a phone.
Right.
And then once they sent me through, even when I got to Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
because I had been there before, they couldn't automatically give me
The phone, the pen.
the pen.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to request the pen.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to wait till the case manager came. It was just difficult.
Yeah.
I didn't have a pack number. I think is what they call it.
Yeah, it's
right?
called a pack
I didn't
number.
have a pack.
Yeah.
So I couldn't use the phone. And when I got there, I'm like, I need to use the phone. That's when I found out that my mom that they did have the funeral, that Jatanya and my kids weren't even there at my mom's funeral because they didn't even know when and where the funeral was. They found out, Jatanya found out about the funeral the morning of, like an hour before it or whatever, because someone called and asked, "Hey, do you know, where to park?" Whatever. She's like, "What are you talking about?" The funeral. She's like, "Funeral? I didn't know anything about the funeral." So that was like a huge problem between, because it deprived her and my children of being able to have closure.
Mm-hmm.
So that combined with losing my mom, combined with getting my discovery and seeing that people that I trusted had betrayed me. Even the young lady who wore the wire on Janelle,
Mm-hmm.
she wore a wire on Jatanya.
Mm.
I had gotten Jatanya a salon, put a chunk in it, man. I probably spent about 100 on this place, building this place out. And Jatanya was there one day, and the girl went up there and said, "Hey, yeah, I need to, give you some money for a deposit on some paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I got an African trying to get some paperwork to a Benz or something." But it was the FBI just trying to
Get you.
get me
Mm-hmm.
from inside to coordinate paperwork to the confidential source. And so when she took the deposit to Jatanya, it took her $1,000 or $2,000 or something. When Jatanya called and said, "Hey, such and such brought this money here. What's it for?" I said, "I'll just keep it. Just gonna pay some of the salon bills or whatever." But she was thinking, or they were thinking, that I was paying and Jatanya was going to be involved in the process. But she wore a wire in to give her the money. "Yeah, this is it." So she asked Jatanya, "When's it going to be ready?" And she said, "I haven't talked to him." So she followed up, called her again, monitored phone. "Hey, have you talked to him? Because these people want to know what's going on with the paperwork. Remember I was up there the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you the money." She's like, I don't know nothing about what y'all got going on. So if he calls me, I have him call you. But that's all they could get on JT, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, she's not green. Two, she just didn't feel comfortable with it. Three, she really didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I never got my people really caught up in anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that particular person who wore that wire, I never did anything to this person.
You don't have to. You know that. You know that by now. Like you don't have to. On this side, being on this side, like when we on that side, we can't really see it. But being on this side, you understand you don't have to do anything. Sometimes, okay, people just be looking for a way out. And they rather you
Now,
than them. Yeah. So now that you're in this new phase of life, right? You put that behind you, came to terms about being away, like, you lost your mom, wasn't there, and all of that. Like now, today, how has Everett made it to the point where he is now? Like not being bitter, still continue to go on with life, being a great father. Like, because it's different now with your son, not from, your other son and your daughter, but you were in and out of their life because you were in and out of prison,
Yeah. So
But this son, you're able to be physically more present.
so a confluence of all those things have caused a deterioration in my relationship with my kid's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish me and Jatanya had a better relationship. And I know she's still full of anger and
Yeah, because she didn't get this version of you. Jatanya got the wild version. You remember, I used to always be Team Jatanya.
always
Always.
100%.
Yeah, didn't matter who was around, what was going on. I was Team Jatanya. So, and she really loved you, right? So if Jatanya had to be with you with nothing, not even an air mattress, just on the floor, that's what Jatanya would have did. So, Kate, you got to think about it. Like over the years, she never, now to see you like this and someone else enjoy it.
Well, what I think is, and she says it a lot, that she doesn't even know me anymore. And she really doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And most people who knew me don't really know me anymore because I think different. I see things differently. I don't value the same things anymore. Um, and that poor relationship with Jatanya it has its effect on my relationship with all my kids.
Mm.
Because as the Bible says, a little leaven leavens the whole loaf, right?
Yeah.
So there could just be a little yeast in there. It's going to affect
The whole
everything,
thing, yeah.
even unintentionally,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, my daughter's relationship with me was one of the most difficult consequences of my debacles because she and I were extremely close. She needed her dad. I was in and out. That cycle of recidivism had an impact on my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate what I did to my children. I hate what I did. I hate what I did to Jatanya.
Yeah.
I hate what I did to myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I look back and look at the people that I was surrounded by.
Tell somebody how to find forgiveness. With yourself, first of all.
First, you have to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But forgiving yourself is often difficult because you have to accept that you are the problem.
Uh-huh.
So, people want to use the word, oh, you're so narcissistic, man. Whatever you want to call it. It's called acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
It's called acceptance of responsibility.
Get a 3-point down with departure.
A 3-point reduction for acceptance of responsibility. But, it's just, I was struggling with acceptance. And the ego always wants you to blame something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ego always wants you to blame something outside of you for the things that have happened, that have taken place in your life. And so I would always blame everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I would blame the system. I would blame, I'm black. I would blame that I was living off Campbellton Road. I would blame on College Park. I would blame the police. They dirty. They, all that other not when from the beginning I have to accept responsibility. It was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
So what was wrong with me as a man? So my relationship with God, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Studying the word. Mental health treatment. Actively seeking therapy.
Mm-hmm.
We're all broken.
Right. And the prison system does. I feel like a lot of times people don't realize that when you've been in prison, even if nothing bad happened to you while you was there, something bad still did happen.
Yeah.
Mentally.
It takes its toll on you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I was mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was something wrong with everybody else.
Right.
Right. And I destroyed relationships. I bled on people because I hadn't done the work to fix myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a long list of people that I owe apologies to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But before I could extend apologies to everyone else, I had to apologize to myself.
Right.
I had to look back at my own life and say, okay, where did I go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Because the person that I want to be wouldn't have done all the things that I've done to become the person that I want to be now. So it's like, how do I get to where I want to be from where I am? Man, I was going the opposite direction. I wasn't going towards where God destined me to be.
Right.
Right. It's like there's a book in the Bible that talks about it. Jonah, the book of Jonah,
Mm-hmm.
right? God destined Jonah to go to one particular place.
Nineveh.
Nineveh. He was supposed to go to Nineveh. He didn't. He was on a whole nother ship going somewhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of tumultuousness on that ship. There was chaos on that ship, toxicity on that ship, right? It affected everybody, not just him.
Right.
His bad decision affected everybody on the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once they lost everything because they started throwing all their belongings off, trying to stop the tumultuousness, they went down and found him hiding. Wait a minute, what you
got going on?
What you got going on? Why you? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you disobeyed God, or you're not living according to His purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yes, he admitted it. He realized it. But do you think Jonah got off the ship on his own? No, they had to grab him and throw him off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we have a Jonah on our ship, right? If you're experiencing that tumultuousness, that toxicity, that negativity, losing things, you might have a Jonah on your ship. But conversely, you might be the Jonah on somebody else's ship. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I was the Jonah on people's ship. I destroyed people's lives. I don't feel good about it. I was selling people felonies, man. That by receiving is a felony.
I know. I took one for you.
Nah, man, you actually beat that case.
I ended up beating it, but you remember, Kay, I took it. The only stipulation, I was like, you got to pay Daniel Kane. My attorney at the time, like, you pay Daniel. You know why I took it, though, Kay? Because you were on paper. I had never been in no trouble.
You're right.
You had just got out. You were on paper.
Why doesn't everybody think that?
And I didn't want to see you go back to, I didn't want to see you. Then your daughter,
my baby was little.
She was little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want to see. And then plus I felt like, if I receive it'll be it get dropped down to a misdemeanor. That's what I was thinking.
And I love you for that. And I thank you. And I appreciate you. And they don't make them like you no more.
And guess what? And when, now that I think about it, your next big break, I need you to touch my hand, sir.
So I owe you.
I need you to touch my hand, sir.
I owe you.
No,
right.
But Kay, tell me,
I
okay,
appreciate it, man.
I love you. I love you. And then not only that, Kay, we we got money together, and we were like a family. Like to Tanya, your daughter, like I loved y'all. You get what I'm saying? So I just didn't want to see you go away again from out of your daughter's life, especially when I had never been in no trouble, and I knew at the worst case scenario, it was going to get dropped to a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Daniel had already said that, so I'm just like, but best case, he got it thrown out, God is good. Yeah, eternally. Yeah. So,
when he do it.
You remember how we got away on Old National with the Escalade?
Oh, man. Hummer.
Oh, it was a Hummer. Yep,
Yeah,
sure was. It was a Hummer. And you called me like, they just pulled out behind you, but it's a different county. You did. You said, but only thing, you said it was a different county. We was on Old National, but it was DeKalb County. You was like, so they don't got no jurisdiction? Them people called that state trooper and pulled me over.
Yeah, they did. I remember I was at the gas station, and I
walked in to give you the money.
Yeah, I got the money. I went back to the car.
Yeah.
And when you pulled off in the Hummer, when y'all went through the light on Old National, we were on Old National.
No, I got back in my car.
Who got the Hummer?
The dude that came up from Alabama to get it, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it in the Hummer.
So
it was for him.
When y'all hit the light, ran through the light, I saw y'all turn. But once y'all turned, the light had turned red. I seen an unmarked, and they were hitting lights, going through the red light, following behind y'all like 4 or 5 deep. That's when I called you. I said, hey, man, something ain't right.
Yeah.
And then they went all through the car.
Thinking it was drugs. They thought it was drugs.
And I told you, I said, Shay, something ain't right with somebody that's around you.
You did.
One of them is the police.
You did.
I said, somebody the police.
But once I seen them let him go with the Hummer, because that's all I was worried about. I'm like, I thought it was a car. You know what I mean? But once they let him go, and I still had my 15 that I just made off the Hummer, I was talking so much junk to them because I know he had no drugs in the car. You know, but I feel like that was another warning sign that God gave me, and I just didn't take heed to it.
Now that right there was a red flag that you should have knew you had to like stop. See, most people, a guy told me this, man, OG True. He said the reason why a lot of people end up in prison, right, is they ignore the red flags. He said it's always red flags. He said, but you try to rationalize the red flags because in your heart, you just want the paper.
Warning come before destruction. Forget a red flag. God has showed it to me clear as day.
Warning comes before destruction.
Yeah, just don't want to take heed. I wanted to continue to do what Shay wanted to do. And that was get money and be fly.
But Shay, listen, man, you had a whole lot at a young age, man. I remember coming in the house, for real. I remember coming in the house, thought the floors was wet. I said, no, not marble floors already. Then
24.
Man, then you was like, oh, okay, I just got my closet done. Look, custom closet. Chanel everywhere. And I made a mistake and brought my girl to your house so she could see the custom closet.
Now
she didn't want the closet. She wanted what was in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the bag Shay had. I'm like, oh, man. I said, well, let's go get it. I didn't know it cost as much as it cost. Shay.
Yeah, we was young, wild, and rich. We thank God for mercy.
It was, I don't know if I would take it away, man. I really needed to experience those things.
People always ask me if I had a chance to do it over again, would I do something different? I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it over.
Yeah.
The part that I used to struggle with is that I chose the streets over my son. That's what I used to struggle with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's how you have to look at it. But in hindsight, I feel like when we're born, right, our path is already made out for us. And I feel like God is so eternally grateful that even if we take a left when we were supposed to take a right, he still makes it where we end back up on that path. Yeah. And I'm just now, I took the left instead of the right. Yeah. But I'm still now back on the path that God had for my life anyway.
Well, what year did you come home?
21. I just came home in 21.
Okay. I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you, Kay.
You're a trailblazer.
Thank you.
You've always been a trailblazer.
Thank you, Kay.
I remember you would write me and ask me for certain little things when you were gone. And I'm always good at like keeping my eyes on the pulse of like economics and what's like the next wave.
Mm-hmm.
What's hot now. And it's like every time you were writing me, you were always like on point. And you hit me one time. I think I mentioned this. You were asking. You said, "Hey, send me everything on what I need to do to start a magazine."
Yep.
And I said, "Okay,
yeah,
don't worry."
Yep.
I mean, no matter how long you were gone away, you knew that it had an expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that milk carton, right?
Mm-hmm.
That milk carton got an expiration date on it,
right?
And one thing I always say when I talk to people that are in custody, I said, "Man, there's a clock on the wall. You could take a battery out of it. You could take the beacon and unplug it. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Take care of yourself. Eat better. Work out. Increase your life expectancy by 10 to 20 years.
People don't realize, Kay, and it's not for everybody, but if you use prison is the best discipline tool that you could ever have in life because, like, even now, I just had said to Lee the other day, like, I used to be so disciplined with my health. I used to get up and jog 3 miles every morning. Yeah. I'd get on that wheel. I had to, get on that wheel and everything. Now I'm out of shape. You know what I mean? People could tell me I look good and all that, but I ain't in shape like I was. I'm just not as disciplined. And I don't feel like I hear from God the way that I used to hear from God because now I feel like I have all these distractions.
It's a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of noise.
It's a lot of noise. And that's how I made it through when I lost my mom. When I got to Ashland, I told you I got off the bus. Before I had my uniform, I had a phone.
Right.
But a lot of those guys in that area don't have the same means. Mm-hmm. So when you have more than others,
right,
it sows a seed of envy, right? And so before I knew it, I was being trailed and they were hitting my room and they were looking for the
Oh,
device.
yeah.
Like, damn, and I wagged about 5 times.
Mhm.
One time, man, I was they ran up on me and they came in through like a back door holding the keys. And the other guys seen them in the TV room. They seen
And
them
nobody
too.
said
Nobody
nothing.
said, "Hey, ATL."
Mhm.
They were like probably saying, "Yes, they finna
Got him. Mm-hmm.
get him." And they got me with the phone, and I got shipped to Beckley, West Virginia, which is a administrative mail. It's like a high, medium high.
Mm-hmm.
They have guys there with pinpoints because they got a Brave program there. But so I'm on a mountain, no phones. I lost my phone privileges.
Right. 6 months across the
And
board.
in the process, I'm in seg because of the shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, being in the hole, nobody's writing me, but a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote me and sent me some love. Um, for me, knowing I had just lost my mom. Jataya's grandmother and her family was sending me some biblical communications.
Mm-hmm.
Um, your college friend
Mm-hmm. See?
Maisha
Oh, Maisha.
sent me
Okay.
a card,
Mm-hmm.
sent me some love, and those are probably I think those are the only 2 people that wrote me while I was in the hole just about my mom. But I had disconnected myself from everyone. But that silence, there's power in the silence.
Mm.
The distractions, that's the devil for real.
Mm.
Anything that numbs the voice of the Lord, anything that turns God's voice down in your life is working according to the other one, the other purpose, not his purpose. So I've found myself, just like you said, prison gives you the best discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I got a friend, Dominique. Man, prison, he said prison was the best thing ever happened to him. He said, man, I wake up every day, I clean my room, I'm organized, I'm neat. He said, I used to be sloppy and messy. Now, he said, man, I'm OCD because I wake up early every day. I take care of myself. I clean my house is spick and span, and I got to get up and go to work every day. Because if you can do that for 10 years, right?
Hey, you know what? It didn't work for me. I did 14. And you would have thought, right? So I used to get up every morning, 6 o'clock in prison. When I came home, my mother and them would tell you that next day, I slept in. I slept in till like 11 o'clock. And the things that I used to do, you would think that I didn't do 14 years.
Yeah. When I came home, I said I didn't even know it. So when I came home, I'm just kind of really just thawing out for real.
Really?
Yeah.
And you came home when, Kay?
22.
Oh, this last time. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I came home. Yep, you came. Do you remember the time? I remember the time when you got out and you sent me I keep that picture. You sent me a picture. You had a fur coat on in a mesh bag outside the gate. You sent it to me.
Oh, you still get
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I was in Tallahassee. Yep, it's in my pictures down at Talisha House.
Wow.
Yep.
If
Okay.
you get it.
I got it. It's in a box down at Talisha House where all my pictures and stuff is. All right, before we go, you got to tell me one thing that you feel like you need to break free from.
Man, you know what? It's my gift and my curse. It's my generosity.
Mm.
It's my generosity because I'm not really good at saying no. So I'll give so much I'm giving so much of myself,
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes to the wrong people, and to my own detriment, right? Because if God gives me a certain number of bricks to build my house,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I lay a brick, lay another brick, and then throw a brick over there to you and throw a brick over there to him. And I keep, throw a brick over there. Y'all houses are going to be built before mine is. I'm not going to receive what God has planned for me because I'm giving all of mine
Away.
So I just have to be more selective in my generosity because even the Bible says not to throw pearls to swine.
To the swine.
Right?
Yep.
And it doesn't say,
don't cast your pearls to the swine.
or else they'll what? Trample over them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even appreciating the things that I'm giving them. And I'm not just talking about monetary things.
Yeah.
Even my own jewels that I give, gain, instructions, wisdom to people, that it just falls on deaf ears, right? But in that same verse, and I'm going to end with this, it says that you shouldn't throw cast pearls to swine because they'll trample over them. Most people stop right there. But right after that, the Bible says, and then they'll turn on you. Right?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
So and it's monumental because it's so true. You can give and give and give to a person, right? And because you're able, because you have those blessings, because you have those abilities, it breeds a seed of envy to those that are being fed, that you're giving it to. And if I'm instead of giving you wisdom and game and keep giving, man, I don't think he know everything. I don't think he know everything.
Yeah.
Man. Come on, man. I don't know what he talking about. OG tripping. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just too generous. It's a gift, though, because on one hand, everything we have comes from God.
Right.
Right? So I'm giving. I'm a giver. I'm generous. I'm a provider by nature. But I gotta break free from giving too much of myself and not giving enough to myself. I neglect
That's
myself.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
At the expense of others.
At the expense of others.
Yeah, that's good. Well, there you have it, Kay. Thank you so much
I appreciate
for coming by today, spending this time with me. And I had text Westside not too long ago. I'm like, we over time, like trying to keep up with the tape. But I really enjoyed you. And,
yeah, well, I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, and I'm excited about what God is doing in your life. Kay, you really have changed. I know I said it on the phone the other day, but Kay, sitting here talking to you too, man, I'm just in awe of the change in the man that I see sitting in here before, because I know the old man. You get what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Yep. And I'm excited. And we got some money to get. And don't forget, when that next big settlement comes through, yeah, just let it,
And I got some ideas, man. I got some things we can get together and accomplish together, man, because, we're on a similar path. I really love to see what you're doing. And I mean it. I want to come back.
Okay. If we move cars state to state, I know we could.
We can tell you we can move anything.
I know we can move anything state to state. There you guys have it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I'll see you next time. And remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. See you next time. I'm going to call the school. I'm going to have to get on the